it's been one of those days. It's this is Truth Seeker Podcast Day. Let me tell y'all something. People get themselves blocked real fast when I see them naming names in the comments. We're gonna talk about that. I got that reminder, but we gotta remember how narcissists do the stuff to themselves. They keep watching us, chosen one. These narcissists, they're the ones they tune in to watch, right? They'll follow to watch and get mad when they see us prospering. Well, stop watching. But see, they like that demon of frustration. They do. They like feeling mad. They like feeling frustrated. Can you imagine that, chosen one? Narcissists, they love that feeling of being frustrated. Because they get to complain about it. They got to feed the demon of complaining somehow. Right? Yeah. Hello. Welcome. Truth Seeker Podcast Day. Truth Seeker Day. Every day is Truth Seeker Day, though. Right? Let me tell you, they do. Those narcissists, man, they frustrate themselves. They do it to themselves. Yeah, they don't realize that they're the ones doing it to themselves. Like, and can you imagine, right? How many times we hear them come to us and they go, hey, so-and-so over here doing this, and then we never stop to think about it at first. And then now we're like, hold on a minute. Why are you even watching? Like, why are you even doing that? Like, you come to us and complain. And then we never stop to think about it until now. Right? Now we like, okay, hold on a second. If I hear someone complaining about, let's say a narcissist comes to me and starts complaining about another content creator that they've been like, I've been watching this content creator. I can't believe they this and they that and they this, and I'm gonna be like, why are you watching? Why are you watching? You know what I'm saying? See, now, chosen ones, we've been like, why are you watching? You come to us, a narcissist come to us, and they want to complain about somebody else's content. Well, why are you watching? They got to feed that demon of complaining. You see? And so they don't realize they frustrate themselves. They're doing it to themselves. They got to have something to complain about. I tell you, that's part of their doom and gloom. These narcissists, the evildoers, they got to have something to complain about. They got to have something. It's got to be negative for them. Everything is so negative. And yes, they are very perverse. Thank you. They are. And they want, it's crazy. It really, truly is. And that's just how they are. They got to have something to complain about. They got to have something to, really. But yeah, it's what they do. It's what they do. And seriously, y'all. They do it to themselves. Don't even realize it. Because we learn, chosen one, we learn that we do, we stop doing stuff to ourselves. Stop self-sabotaging. Right? Like, if we come across some content and it just did not sit right with us, we stop watching. See, that's the difference between chosen one and narcissist. See, narcissists, they're going to sit there and keep watching. The haters going to keep watching. And they're going to continue to get frustrated. They stay frustrated. Well, the reason they stay frustrated is because they keep watching. They keep watching. Chosen ones, we all got monitoring spirits. And I can tell y'all right now that the flying monkeys and Jezebel case studies and stuff like that, I figured out another thing that they're looking at. Oh yeah, they watching this neck. You know why? I figured it out. We had something in our body. Well, not in our body, but something about our body that's pulling on it to give off the appearance as though I'm just going. You're going to hear this on the Patreon channel and stuff. But good news, y'all. My thyroid is just fine. Glory be to God. So I wanted to give y'all that update. Yep, my thyroid is just fine. It's just fine. God revealed it to me. We discovered some stuff that, well, I mean, she had to cause my skin to stretch in order for that to occur. And we figured it out. And so we got our weight training going. Oh, yeah. Meeting new personal records every single day. So, yeah, listen, a little at a time. A little goes a long way. And, yeah, upper body strengthening. Absolutely. All right. So, narcissists, they continue to watch. And so, when they do that, they just continue to frustrate themselves. And then point the finger at everybody else. Like, they do that, right? That blame shifting. They want everybody to think that their frustration is somebody else's fault. I'm like, yo, seriously. Thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up. Alright, thank y'all for hitting the thumbs up. You know this content is valuable. You know it is, because we keep it real. We just sharing with y'all the truths here. Truth. God's truths, man. That's why I tell y'all in the generic armor up prayer, you want to make sure that you got to keep your loin girded about in truth and God's reality. That's right, as we continue to do all to keep standing upright in the Lord. And it's how we do it. We stay upright in the Lord. So here's a reminder, like I was alluding to in the very beginning. Okay? Somebody got themselves blocked real quick because they came in to comment. And I got to remind y'all, the world is a stage. Okay? All the world is a stage. What does that mean? We have actors and actresses, right? We have public figures, okay? They are known as celebrities. And so there's this thing called celebrity gossip. We don't do it. Now, see, chosen ones, we know there's no such thing as a celebrity, okay? All right, there's no such thing. That's all for glitz and glam to keep the toddlers and adult bodies entertained. We learned this, okay? We learned this now. There's no such thing. They're well-known public figures. Okay, they are idols. Okay, they're idols for everyone who doesn't know the truth about idolatry. But we're big in this ministry about not naming names when it comes to these narcissists, because we don't have to. God knows who they are. And when you start naming names, that's when it becomes gossip. Because there's nothing good about a narcissist except the fact they serve as a catalyst to our spiritual awakening. That's it. But they are not good people. They do not have good hearts. So there's nothing really positive to say about them as we educate and raise awareness about the red flag and talk all about the game of narcissism on the world stage. So you have actors and actresses. And a lot of these narcissists even use fake names. They use fictitious names. That would be another big reason why we don't need to name names. Because then it becomes gossip. It becomes celebrity gossip. Gossiping is a sin. God told me early on. He said you do not need to put the names like the ex-psycho roommate. Even in my book, Real Events of Narcissistic Abuse, Someone's Survival Guide, I don't name names. There's no reason to. I do not name the real names of the narcissist. Any of them. Or anyone involved in each one of those situations. I don't name the real names. There's no need to. Our Heavenly Father knows who they are. Because again, for those who don't know this, the God spirit on the inside of a narcissist, yeah. The human host of demon spirit, there's a God spirit in there, but they don't have access. The human host does not have access to him. Because they don't have Jesus. Remember, God is omnipresent. So this is another reason why we don't need to name names. God already knows who they are. He take care of them on our behalf. He takes care of them on our behalf. So we don't need to, because then it turns into gossip. And that's the last thing we want to be doing. It's not walking on eggshells and no, but this person that got themselves blocked said that I'm sideways about that. No, I'm not. I'm very adamant, very straightforward, standing upright in the Lord. There is no sideways about that. Because he says that it's not this person thinks that it's not gossip to name evil people. Listen to me. Again, the names that they were naming were of some public figures, well-known actresses and actors and so-called celebrities. Those were the names that they were naming, which means he was engaging in celebrity gossip. And here's the other thing. How do you know that that's their real name? You don't. Another reason why we don't name names. God knows who the narcissists are. So yeah, the name that he was naming, they would have, that was celebrity gossip right there. So serious cognitive dissonance on his part by saying that it's not gossip to name evil people. To name their names, yes it is. We're exposing the red flags of the evil, of the narcissist, and Jezebels and whatnot. But we don't have to name their names, because for all we know, a lot of them don't even tell us their real names anyhow. I mean, and then when it comes to actors, actresses, singers, performers, whatever, on the world stage, that could be a stage name that they're using. Listen, when I went for my modeling years ago, I had a fictitious name. Although it was like a nickname of mine. But yeah, for those who are interested, on my what was called a com card, it was like our modeling profile card, I went by Shelly Renee. So you see what I'm saying? So when you start naming names of narcissists out here, then I mean it's pointless. Okay, and then it turns into gossip. Alright, so and there you go. Alright, yeah, there's the self-awareness, right? Self-awareness to know when you're doing something to yourself. Yeah, that's not their forte. That's a good one, yeah. Narcissist self-awareness is not their forte. Oh gosh, no. Right, and they do, thank you for pointing that out. Narcissists do, because they are confused. Remember, God is not the author of confusion, but narcissists are very confused. But they'll confuse evil mockery for positivity. Exactly. See, they get everything twisted. They get everything backwards. By the way, that's what the Jezebel case study tried to do to this body. I figured it out. I said, no wonder I was experiencing weirdness from time to time at certain places on my body. But I said, oh my gosh, that's exactly what she was trying to do. She was basically trying to get my body to heal backwards. Think about that. She was trying to make me look older than I really am. She was trying to make me look like a man. She was trying to make me, she was trying to disfigure this body. She tried to do everything to, you know what? It's really funny too, because every time I discover something, I'm like, okay, here we go. All right, now let's go get some sports tape. We good. We're going to tape that sucker up, put that in the right place. You can't work it if it's not in the right place. Yeah, you can't work that muscle if it's not in the right place. Anyhow, all right, there you go. But here's the... I mean, you can work it. It would just take a little bit longer to get where it's supposed to be. Sports tape. That's a tip for anybody. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Here's a little bit of and more. All right, so y'all, this is how we roll up in here. The Holy Spirit. All right, listen, sports tape. You can get that at Walmart. You can get it at any sports store, what have you. Sports tape. Okay, athletic tape. Right, because the whole thing, well, y'all know. Okay, so if you are just starting out, let's say you are first time toning up, and you notice a certain area of your body that is being pulled down. It's not gravity. No. It's salt water. All right, that's what it is. Athletic tape. All right, you can tape it up a little bit and then start working it. All right, you'll see results a lot faster. Okay. sports, is that rude? Sports tape in a certain, no. That's why I gave that tip. If you are toning up and working out and weight training and you're not seeing results after, let's say, at least 2 to 3 weeks, you're not seeing results that you would be expecting, that might be because it could be an upper thigh area, it could be your back, it could be any part of your body that may be having a little bit too much weight to it. It's pulling on the skin, so there's excess water there. So you take the sports tape and you just pull it up a little. It don't take much. Okay, a little goes a long way. But it'll help put that area back in place. So when you start working that muscle, the circulation, you get that excess water out and you'll start to see results a lot quicker. I'm just saying. Okay. A stage name. There you go. That's another reason why we don't. Exactly. Okay, so. Okay, do narcissists have a human side where they flip between human and demon? Good question. They do shapeshift, don't they? But they are a human host of demon spirits. So when you talk about them having an actual human side, well, they're not. I mean, they're not genuinely human. Like, they don't have a genuine heart. They don't have humility. They don't have that kind of human trait. They don't have those things. They don't have things that would be considered humane. All they have is an act. Because they're human as far as we see them in the physical, right? It's their skin, their eyes, their biological makeup. That's why I refer to them as demonically possessed biological beings. Because they don't flip between a human side and a demon. Okay, it's more of a, when they shapeshift, it's from them. It's just that part of their, that's not a flip between human and demon. That's just the shape-shifting. It's just them going from, well, they're moody. Okay, it's their mood changing. Like, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could be fine and nothing going on with their faith. And then something occurred. They come across something. All of a sudden, it's all scrunched up. And then we've also seen the shape-shifting. Man, a lot of it, you don't see that every day. But once you see it, you don't unsee it. Like that one creepy stalker dude, by the way. Long gone. Okay? But when his upper body, literally, when I looked at him, I said, oh my goodness. He had, it was weird. His whole upper body had twisted. And he was still walking forward, but and that's some serious shape-shifting right there. I was like, yo. And I recognized that he was the Jezebel. Because when he walked right by me as I was walking that way, he was going this way, I heard him growl. So it's like, seriously, but they are demonically possessed biological beings. And that's why I call them that. Yes. Okay. All right. I'm gonna answer that. Okay. I talked about that earlier. One of the things the Jezebel case study tried to do. Here's another and more. Because she's a narcissist. Remember, Jezebel, they are the craziest of all narcissists. Okay, they are just cuckoo-luckoo. I don't think for a Jezebel, I don't think the word perverse does them any justice. It's beyond that for them. But yeah, she did. She tried to make me age faster. She tried to make me age, period. And then she tried to make me look like a man. In other words, because when you go down the rabbit hole, right, when you go down the rabbit hole, and then it's all over TikTok, but there's a lot of things about those so-called celebrities, the female celebrities, and the Adam's apple. Okay, so we do know that there are a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them who, well, they're actually a man, but they look very much like a woman, except for their Adam's apple. So what she tried to do when she did what she did with the vacuum cleaner, okay, to stretch skin in a certain area of my body that would pull on all of that, because she used one of my chokers to choke me. So in doing so, what that did is it not only bruised everything there, but with that, it put pressure on my vagus nerve. And so with that, okay, and all that heat and the salt getting trapped there, because that's what we're working on now, is there's excess water that being, right, and because circulation has been, it's been manipulated, if you will. So, that being said, she was trying to make my Adam apple look like a man Adam apple. Is what she was trying to do. While at the same time trying to make my thyroid look larger than it was. My thyroid's fine. It's right where it should be. Because we got some sports tape. Alright? So, but yeah, I know, draw a mustache on me. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I did have a couple of narcissists that asked in the comments, and they got themselves blocked and deleted. They asked if I was a man. I was like, look, no, seriously, whatever. Okay, because that's a big thing in Hollyweird. Okay? That's a big thing in Hollyweird, and there's a lot of actresses who are actually men, but very much look like a woman. And we all thought they were a female actress, but, I don't get all caught up in that. I made note of it, and I said, okay, so that goes on in Hollyweird. It is what it is. But that's a big part of why, because we're up here creating content. And remember, something else about narcissists. They view other people and things as being larger than they really are. Because that Jezebel case study, man, she came at me and she said, oh my gosh, one day she's like, you're going to be out there public speaking, you're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing that, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, wow. Wow. Like, you're going to need to hire a bookkeeper or something. I know she was trying to weasel her way in, thinking that I might hire her to be a bookkeeper for the ministry. No, and no. So, Now, do I know a lot of what she told me was going to happen? Yeah, but at God's time, at God's appointed time, not hers or the devil, but God's appointed time. You're darn right it's going to happen. A lot of it already has in the spiritual. It's called manifestation in the spiritual first. Remember, in God's reality, that's how it works. You see it in the spiritual first before it will manifest into the physical. So, well, it is what it is. So, yeah. And I appreciate that. I'm all womanly woman. That's right. Just the way God made me. But because of that narrative, she was trying to get people to think otherwise. Because of all of that. Like, if you go down the rabbit hole, and you know what? I see some people sitting here, listen, you sitting here watching and you're not giving the thumbs up. Alright, y'all? Thank you to all of you who do hit the thumbs up. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. If you watching as a hater, you're doing it to yourself. See, that's why we're talking about this here. Because narcissists gonna get on here and they're gonna watch. Especially if it's the Jezebel case study, trying to watch and see if her handiwork's paying off. No, it ain't. God's reversing every single bit of it and then some, let me tell you. Oh yeah, because we found out that we are not gluten intolerant and we are not lactose intolerant either. Oh, let me tell you, when God revealed that to me, I was like, oh, trick of the devil there. As soon as I was able to start putting wheat back in my diet, boy, that helped to speed up the bruises healing right there. Because of the folate and B vitamins and other things inside of the wheat products. So anyway, that being said, okay, the haters, the narcissists, they gonna keep watching, and all they gonna do is frustrate themselves. They think that, well, they're just sitting there hoping we don't make it. But the funny thing is that we already have. See, Chosen One, the moment that we launched our website, we made it. We just keep on making it. That's it. Okay, yes, you can ask about the PayPal funding flyer. I dropped that short video. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but I dropped the short video. You will see it on this YouTube channel, all about that. Well, listen, the Jezebel case study tried to sabotage the ministry anyway. She didn't have to become a bookkeeper to do that. She tried to sabotage it anyway by seeing if she could steal, kill, destroy. Anyway. But yeah, the PayPal funding, okay, the fundraiser, all right, the fundraiser, CHA's fundraiser for healthier living. That's the title. CHA's fundraiser for healthier living, okay? Because that's our combat. Right, our combating radio frequency for healthier living. That's our movement. And so we have now officially launched the fundraiser for the movement, which also helps because it's part of the ministry. So, exactly, because we're gonna need some additional equipment, cooking equipment for the demos for healthier eating. We're gonna need to get more software programs in the future. Exactly, because I'm still doing research. I'm connecting metal salt to their preferred frequency, so I've been working on that. Like I know that mercury has a liking for the high frequency, while aluminum, it will respond to both high and low. Sodium, it responds to the high-low combo, and electrocution, right? Just kind of like try to hold that numbness in place. The sodium. So I'm able to do that, and so I'll be bringing all of that to you all. Okay, a lot of it has already come out on the Patreon channel. Our digital products for combating radio frequency for healthier living are already up and running on the Patreon channel. Those links are in the description below, and you will see the fundraiser flyer pop up now across social media here and there. Okay, you will see it, and you can always reach out via email if you have any additional questions about that. But it is simply an ongoing fundraiser, because that is an ongoing movement. There's a lot to unpack when you talk about radio frequencies and the continued research I'm doing for its negative impact on health. It's amazing. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. And so I also include on that flyer, I include a link to a website that I discovered a long time ago when I first started learning about radio frequency sickness. And they call it radio frequency radiation, which essentially is what it is. And so when your radio waves are higher, okay, the radio frequencies, the levels are higher than what your body can adapt to, then you'll experience radio frequency poisoning symptoms. And those symptoms are very much like symptoms that you would, exactly, like the common cold, flu, what have you, exact same symptom. And so a lot of people don't realize that their body is just detoxing. And so we had to learn all of this. But it's like a constant underlying feverish state of mind that we were in. And it's because of excess radio frequency exposure. And then the excess salt on the inside of the body. You got to remember that your body on the inside has to meet certain criteria for that excessive radio frequency to have the negative impact. Okay, that much I tell y'all a lot. That's why we detox. And so that's the other part for the fundraiser is for detox program. I've got one course already available for how to detox from trauma and nutrition course at CHA Academy, but we've got more coming for you all. Okay, we've got more work that we are working on, putting together tips. Oh gosh, just like we're doing the trauma healing tips on our Facebook business page. Oh yeah, I've been dropping them. I believe we are up to number 11 so far. All right, trauma healing tip number 11. We've been dropping them reels here and there. Trauma healing tips right on the Facebook business page. And so we're doing similar things on other social media platforms. So you see, and we stay busy with all of that because it's very important for healthier living. Okay? And and you can, you can send your funds to paypal.me/CHABTBW. And that's also in the video description below. Now, if you prefer Venmo, then you can send it there too. That's also in the description below. Right, and so the flyer, the flyer I have not put the flyer out by itself yet. You will be able to get a copy of it. In fact, we got the monthly newsletter that comes out, but I'm going to make sure that you all will be able to access a copy of that flyer. It's in the video. I know I put it in the video so you can see it. Okay, and then I'm going to, we're working on it. So it's already done, so I can talk about it now because we already launched that video. I highly encourage y'all to watch that video too, okay? Watch that video and just hang tight, okay? Hang tight. I've got a copy of the actual flyer, and we've been, I'm still working on how I'm going to do it for TikTok. That one's a little bit, I don't know. I may just post it. Who knows? But it's going, we got Facebook, we got Pinterest, we've got Quora that we're gonna put some stuff there. So all across all social media that we are on, we are going to launch. It is an ongoing worldwide fundraiser for this ministry, for our combating radio frequency for healthier living, because healthier living is, as you will read on the flyer, healthier living is part of trauma healing and beyond. It is a lifestyle change. It's all about that awareness. We've got to be aware, right? Yeah, the more aware we are of these things, the better decision we can make. The more educated we are about our body. See, that's why I bring y'all all the stuff so far about our autonomic nervous system, our ANS, and how it is manipulated using that very radio frequency that we are combating as well. Oh, that's why I said there is a lot that goes into this. And so we're launching this fundraiser as we're asking for y'all's help. Because we have so much that we know is going to benefit not just this community, but anyone who wants to live a healthier life. Anyone who wants to understand why they feel unwell all the time. Anyone who wants to feel better and stay feeling better, right? Anyone who wants to learn about it, wants to understand, because it really is, when you detox and you start paying attention to the amount of salt that you're putting in your body. Yes, you do need some salt, especially if you're active, but it's a matter of how much. We start looking at making sure we don't have excess. Like, if we're consuming salts, okay, because we can't escape that unless you want to eat a bowl of plain oatmeal all day long, so be it. But you're going to get sodium in, you're going to eat, right? And so there's going to be sodium in some stuff. It's a matter of managing it and just making sure that we don't eat excess. Okay, because that is what is needed. The body has to have an excess amount of salt on the inside for that radio frequency to have the intended negative effects, you see. But it's also bruising. It's also any other, impairment of sorts. And a lot of times the impairment, okay, is from excessive salt and other toxins in the body. So once we detox and we no longer have any of those issues and our body's circulation is working normally and all of that, then the radio frequency out here is not going to have that negative intended effect or impact. But we still need to be aware of it and not get complacent. See, that's the other part of this movement, is keeping the awareness going so we do not be... It is so easy to become complacent. Y'all know that? We're human. It really is that easy to take the eye off the ball and get complacent because, we feel better now. Don't do that, because, oh my gosh, that complacency equals vulnerability. Because then you can get tricked into thinking, I feel better now. I can go and splurge on this. And you end up taking in more salt than you should have for that day, depending on how active you have been. And then you're going to go somewhere and bleep, 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 bleep. All of a sudden, you're going to start to feel unwell again. It happens like that. That's why I try to tell y'all, got to be mindful. Okay? So that's the other part of this movement. That's why we're doing the fundraiser as well, because it's ongoing. Because the radio frequency poisoning is also ongoing. If we are not paying attention, because it can do that. And so you don't want to get complacent, because then you take in a little bit too much salt for that day, then you go somewhere, and all of a sudden you start feeling unwell because you just got overexposed again, okay? Or just say exposed to more frequency than what your body can handle at that time, and so then you start to experience something. It can easily, because now you're, right, if you get complacent, then you can get tricked into thinking that you have, exactly, that you have this or that, or whatever, and you start to develop more brain fog. Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. That's why it's all about the awareness. And so all funding that comes into this ministry, okay, it goes right back into our growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. And we're going to keep on bringing y'all the information about radio frequency and its negative impact. But also, I got the positive impact I just put over there on Patreon for y'all. The healing frequencies that are there. But see, you got to learn first, right? You got to first learn about all of the things that can be okay, and then, okay, you see, it's very similar to how God revealed all the Jezebels first. Then he starts to reveal fellow chosen ones to us. Same concept. All right, and so, okay, the image at the top. Thank you, Chris. I know the original image was a bit too businessy. I agree with you on that. And so I went into our database, if you will, using some software. And that is the photo that I have at the top of the flyer now. The photo is one that I took. It's one of ours. It's an original. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay, and then that Friday feel, there you go. That's the best way to describe it. This is why the awareness and the fundraising is ongoing, because this can happen. You get that Friday feeling, you're feeling good now. You detox, you're feeling good, you understand what's going on, and then all of a sudden you can get complacent and go back to the old ways, exactly, if you're not careful. Right, like Noah. Oh, good one. Right, how Noah got drunk and naked after all the good work and getting out of the flood and getting to dry land, and he got complacent. Exactly. Yes, my own image, right. That's right. The image that's at the top of the flyer is one that I took. I own it. It's an original. It's mine. So, anyhow, yes. And I do that on the website too. If y'all haven't done so, you can see the pictures that are on the website. Those are all ones that I take. That's what we're big on now, because I ran into that when I first started the ministry and was using, all the pictures that are available to use online, and you have to be careful because if there's a watermark, can't use it. If it's copyrighted, you can't use it. So I said, you know what? I got a camera. I know how to take pictures. Let's just take some pictures, and we get around that resistance. There's a great example right there. How you get around the resistance, okay, out there. So we don't have to be bogged down with that. We don't have to worry about copyrights or anything like that when it comes to photos. Yeah, we don't have to, yeah. Well, I don't have to use a photo library, but I do. I have software. That's another part of the fundraiser, is to help us cover the cost of the software we're using. Okay? See, fundraising, for those who may not understand, fundraising is a very common component in any movement, and of course in any, well, you could say business, but for any cause. And so the movement is a cause. It's cause for healthier living. It's a cause that we believe in because we know it's true, that we are exposed to all these toxins and things around us. And so I feel that the Lord had me get my master's degree in forensic toxicology for that reason. And that reason, Not just for forensic consultation, but for this movement, for this cause. Because we live in a very toxic culture. Okay? And it's not just because of the narcissist, but it's because of all of the excess salts and sugars and, all that stuff that it's just not good for our body. Not good for our health. It's not good for us. And we have the power and authority on the inside of us from God to take control of our health. And that's how we're doing it right here. Now, mind you, that discernment, if you got something that you really just don't know what's up, and do your research, okay? Or you need to have something looked at or what have you. Because, even I pay attention to holistic practices out here. I pay attention to where there are homeopathic outlets. I sure do. In fact, there's one right in the city that I reside in. There is one, and I made note of where it is. Okay, it's an all-natural, holistic, homeopathic practice. They're out here. And so I said, mental note, in case if I ever need, that's the route we go. That's the route. I've been like that for years. On the homeopathic side of things, I have been like that for years. I'd rather an all-natural remedy, a natural herb. That's just me. Because I know that God put all kinds of things here on this planet for us, for our benefit, for healthier living. So, yeah, it's a great cause. It's not just good. It's a great cause. It's a cause for, it's cause for not just, education and awareness. Oh, my gosh, so important to understand how radio frequency impacts our lives and our health, especially. So when we can understand that better, we know how to self-care. We know, and I'm going to have a lot of that. Listen, I give y'all a lot of self-care tips already. So you better be ready for more of that. Right, yeah, like the cool towel therapy on the neck, ice packing at the thyroid area to regulate your nervous system. Because I got that from a homeopathic doctor on TikTok. Yes. So, we got a lot coming. A lot that we've already put out. And so, we're going to continue to remind y'all that it is, in the spiritual battle for the mind, right? Between chosen ones and narcissists, right? It is the spiritual battle for the mind. While at the same time, part of the traumatization on the world stage, okay, with the game of narcissism is that, it'll be poisoned with radio frequency. But if our body's internal environment does not meet certain criteria, it won't have the negative intended effect on our health. So we just have to know. Yes, a lot of self-care tips and more coming. And so, exactly. Oh, that's another good example of complacency. Yeah, you don't want to do that because I'm going to tell you, it can happen, and it has happened to yours truly. Okay, we're in the detox. I had to learn about the pattern of Zap Day, though, and I didn't know about it yet at the time. But that's what happened. I didn't get complacent, though, but I did experience a kind of like a revamping of some symptoms. And I said, did I not just overcome that? And then I realized, right, and that's when God revealed the pattern to me about Zap Day. He said, yeah, because my body's internal environment at that time still had a good bit of salt trapped, if you will, in certain places that we were working on. And because of that, I didn't know it was Zap Day, I ventured on out to the store. I was feeling fine before going in and then coming out. And I was like, why does that feel like that? I just overcame that. Oh, right, because I was exposed. My body wasn't able to adapt because I was exposed. There was more salt inside this body than it's just, yeah. So it can right, because those symptoms can reoccur. Okay, yes, they can reoccur depending on your body's internal environment. So complacency is not a good thing. And we're not talking about walking on eggshells either. It's just that awareness, just remembering, hey, wait a minute, just because we're feeling better and all of that does not mean we need to go and have an extra bag of potato chips. Note that I said extra. You know, I'm just using that as an example. That does not give us permission to do that. Because if we consume too much salt, it takes your body a little while to process that. So you don't want to go out there and eat. Exactly. You don't want to go out there and take in more than you normally would. Just because that's getting complacent. And then all of a sudden, you're like, man. And it can trick you into thinking the old way until you really get a grasp on purging that subconscious. And like when you buy a fancy DSLR camera and it sits in the drawer unused, I'm kind of wondering. That example seems very real. That example seems very real for some reason. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Okay? And, well, right. But at the same time, everything in its time, you know, everything in its season and things like that. So even if your camera might be in the drawer for a season, hang tight. God had you get that for some reason. So just like us, he has us get things in preparation for a later time too. I want y'all to remember that. A good example I have for y'all is I have a little step, a workout step. Yep, one of those steps that you would, to work out on. Steps. Okay, I got that like a year and a half ago. And just now, about 3 months ago, at the time of this recording, 3 months ago, we remembered, okay, you know what, I think we're gearing up to get time. So it took about another month or so after that. So a couple of months ago, I started using it. God said, now's the time. He had me get it in preparation for. So you have to remember that's how God works. Okay, he has us get something in preparation for. So, and there's some other workout things that he's had me get here and there for our lifestyle that I didn't start using right away. So I want y'all to keep that in mind as well. Because that's how God works. He has us get things in preparation for a later time as well. Remember, God's the planner. God is the author of the 5 P's, right? He plans. He gets us, he says, okay, because I was just at the store, right? I was at the store the other day and I said, well, I'm looking at this stuff and I was like, okay, yeah, but I said, do I need that right now? And I heard the Lord say, he said, go ahead and get it. He said, get it. Be ready. See, that's the thing. God had to get us in position. You see the 5 P's in action already. See, it's like I had a plan. I went there for this particular sporting good item and ended up with another one that I was not going to get yet, but God told me to go ahead. He said, get in preparation, to get in position, to be ready for when that time comes. When God says, all right, I need you to pick that up. So that's the thing right there. Okay, that's how God works. So don't fret about that. I thought you were. I thought you were talking about yourself with that camera. And like to learn to use it to its full extent. And the lenses can be very expensive. I know. And so just take your time with it. Take your time with it. Apparently, God had you get that. God had you get that for a reason. And maybe the season for it hasn't come yet. So just hang tight. All right? I guarantee you, if he had you get that, there's a reason. It just might not be the season to use it yet. But you can be learning about it. Ding, 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 ding. You can be learning about it. Because see, I will tell you, I've done that. Even though I'm not using a particular thing, but I needed to learn about it. So I'm going to learn as much as I can about it along the way until the time is right to use it. Until the season arrives to use it. So there's your and more right there too. Well, okay, well, you know what? You have to decide what type of photography you want to specialize in. Macro or sport or landscape, etc. Okay? Let me ask you a question. Well, if you're going to take your photography, if you're going to turn it into a business venture, I can see where that, you want to have something that is your brand type, right? Like our brand is breaking the trauma bond to the world, right? So I see where you can come up. You want something that will serve as your brand, like what you will be, what your specialty would be photography-wise. But remember, don't put limitations on God. If you are a talented photographer for landscape and sports, what about weddings? What about family? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So don't put limitation on God. Because I know how the matrix works. But you'll need something that's a brand. But you offer a variety of. Think about it. Okay, think about that. Because there's a lot out here. Because now I know that a lot of people would say, well, don't put limitation on God. Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. I'm going to leave that between you and God. Don't put limitations on God. If you've got a photographic eye, you can do anything you put your mind to with that. Yeah. So don't put limitations on God. You want to have something that, a brand, okay, to represent your venture, your idea, but you don't want to put limitations on God. I'm just giving you that as an example. Okay? Okay, and so to be known for a particular photo subject or subjects, that can be plural too. It don't have to be just one. You can start out with just one. But again, okay, so you're feeling that you're going to need it, but just not just yet. But you, again, be learning about it. Learn all the ins and outs. You can start practicing. There you go. Ooh. Yeah, you start practicing. Like in your living area. Start practicing using it. Take a picture of the desk or table or what have you. Start practicing so you get familiar with all the different features that it has. There's a reason why God had you bring it up. Because now, I'm telling you, you better start practicing. And you better learn that thing. Because the reason it brought up, it put on your spirit to use as an example, is because the season where you're going to need to start using it, it's on its way. God needs you to get prepared. He needs you to get ready. That's for a lot of y'all right there. You got something sitting in that drawer that God has you get, and you haven't been using it yet, but it's on your spirit. He reminded you. That means he needs you to get ready. Learn about it. Get prepared. Be ready. Be in position for when God delivers you that season. All right, chosen one? So there's your and more for today. Truth Seeker Podcast. Oh, yeah. And to specialize in what interests you and what you like. Absolutely. What interests you and what you like is what you're going to be most passionate about. And that is what people will see. That's what people are looking at. And that is what sells. And so, nature photography and animals, absolutely. So you got this. You got this, y'all. You got this, all right? So there's your Truth Seeker Podcast topic. We covered some narcissists. We covered a little bit about the Jezebel case study. And then we help our fellow warrior and whoever else needs it with getting ready, all right? God says, I need you to get in position. He says, I need you to get in position. That's why he got you remembering, okay? All about that. So that wraps this one up. And I know a lot of you are going to catch this on the replay. And for all of you who do, I want to see you drop it in the comments below. All right? I want you to drop it in the comments below. Okay? God said get ready. Drop it in the comments below. God said get ready. That's going to let me know who I was paying attention. Okay? Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your continued support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father. And you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen.